Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Exotic Astrology. Recently, I had made a post 2 weeks back in my Instagram page about the Atmakaraka. Okay, what does the Atmakaraka represent? What, when, who, why? Okay, so Atmakaraka Secrets, divine knowledge. So if you have not yet followed my Instagram page, you will find the link in the description. Please go and follow that. I have some interesting threads there. And yes, let's directly jump into it. So, what is the Atmakaraka? The Atmakaraka is the planet in your horoscope which has the highest degree. Okay. So, we know planets have degrees, and the planet with the highest degree, the topmost. And if two planets have the same degree, you can check the minutes. Okay. If the minutes are also same, then check the later. Okay. So that planet is your Atmakaraka officially. Okay. Now, the Atmakaraka is the planet with the highest degree in the horoscope. Atmakaraka is neither purely positive nor negative. Okay. So many times people think, oh, my Atmakaraka's dasha is coming. So, for example, if Venus is your Atmakarak, 20-year Mahadasha is coming. So, they think, oh, maybe this will be good Mahadasha or it will be bad, it will be nice, not so nice. They will get into these binary assumptions like extremely good, extremely bad. No, it is not like that. You have to understand what the Atmakarak is first. Now, what does the Atmakarak signify? The Atmakarak signifies self identity, which is distinct from exaggerated beliefs. This means the Atmakaraka represents those things that you very strongly identify yourself with. Okay. So, for example, the Atmakaraka, as the word Atma is in the Atmakaraka, right? So, what is the meaning of this word Atma? So, the word Atma in the Vedic context is used in a, I would say, spiritual sense. But actually, if you go by Sanskrit, the word Atma actually means the conception of the self. Okay. Atma. So, which means what do we think of ourselves? Who do we think we are? So, that is what the Atmakaraka represents. And this is something which has to do with our beliefs from many lifetimes. Okay. And distinct from exaggerated beliefs, which means there are certain beliefs which we may have, but who do we believe, who do we think we are as a person? That is what is the Atmakaraka. Okay. Then, who is the natural Atmakaraka? Surya. So, Surya is the natural Naisargic Atmakaraka because Surya signifies the Atma, it signifies the sense of self. Okay. The sun represents our conception of self, while Jupiter symbolizes the soul. So Jupiter is the pure soul, which is Satchit Ananda, which is Chit actually. Okay, and then the sun actually represents Chitta. Chitta is impurity. Impurity means the pure soul is now identifying with matter or with some post position, name, fame, or something subtle, emotional, intellectual. So some materialistic identification independent of God, that is actually Surya. Okay. Key distinction: Chit is spiritual consciousness, which is Jupiter, and Chitta is materialistic identity, okay, which is the sun. The planet's inherent nature and influence on Atmakaraka's house plays a significant role. So this means what is the inherent nature of the planet? Inherent nature in the sense, who is that planet? What does that planet signify? Okay, like Venus signifies luxuries, love, romance, beauty, sexuality, all this. The moon represents emotions, mother, comfort, health, good health, bad health, okay, children, and all this. Okay, so, and also the influence on the Atmakaraka's house. Now, what is Atmakaraka's house? Atmakaraka's house means where the Atmakaraka is placed. And also you could check which houses the Atmakaraka rules. Okay. So Surya Chandra, they will rule one house. And the other planets, like the remaining 5 planets, they will own 2 houses. So therefore you also have to check where, so for example, if Venus is your Atmakaraka, you need to check where Venus is, which planet is conjunct Venus, which planets are aspecting Venus, and also you need to check what is going on in Libra, who is there in Libra and Taurus. Okay, that also you need to check. For example, Mercury as Atmakarak suggests affinity towards wealth, education, and identification with such themes. So if Mercury is the Atmakarak, then it is possible to some extent, depending on the overall chart, of course. Again, disclaimer, the overall chart matters. Okay, it's not that you just see one planet and you give the answer. No, that will lead to blunders. Okay, please don't do that, as I always keep saying. But suppose you have Mercury as the Atmakarak, and along with that you have the Lagna Lord, which is placed in Artha house, like 6th house, 2nd house, or 10th house, 2nd, 6th, 10th. Then the person may have some more affinity towards wealth more than what is necessary, because the person identifies very strongly with wealth. Okay. Beneficial placements can lead to fulfillment in related areas. So if Mercury is the Atmakarak and the Earth houses are well placed, because Mercury primarily deals with money. He's the Karaka for the 10th house. He shows skill. So if the horoscope has a strong potential for financial growth, then this placement of Mercury, if well placed, this can lead to fulfillment of the Atma. Not of the soul, but yeah, the conception of the person, the conception of being, actually. Bad placements can indicate pessimism and self-destructive habits. Okay. So if Mercury is your Atmakarak and Mercury is afflicted not by one, but by two malefics or more, like Saturn, Mars, Rahu, Ketu, they are conjunct or aspecting Mercury, then the problem is you might be pessimistic in earning money through righteous means, through dharmic means. Then you might be tempted to earn money through wrong means, like adharmic ways. That could happen. Or you might have a desire to earn a lot of quick money suddenly. And you might also indulge in self-destructive habits, like I've seen a bad Mercury afflicted, especially, and as Atmakarak, the person is always going into some kind of stock market trading, and they're just destroying their life like this. Atmakaraka's Mahadasha or Antardasha will reveal the soul's primary desire and inclinations. Okay. Carefully note the primary events, because they are related to the soul's innermost deep desire. So when your Atmakaraka's Mahadasha or Antardasha comes, you need to be very careful in identifying. So check who is your Atmakarak. If you are like 30, 40, 50 years old, go back whenever Atmakaraka's Antardasha has come. Okay. So if Mercury is your Atmakarak, then go and see from the time you are born, whenever you had Mercury Antardasha or Mercury Mahadasha, what happened that time. That will give you clues related to the soul's innermost desire. Okay. And that is something which will decide the course of journey, because that is the soul's desire. It's very important. And it will also reveal the person's inclination. So given a fact that everything is going good, you will not know this. But if there are some problems, then you will know how is this person likely to behave. So that will be decided by looking at the Atmakaraka. Atmakaraka's placement in the different divisional charts indicate the strongest desire for that particular divisional chart. So for example, if Mercury is in a particular house, so for example, if Mercury is in the 7th house, of the Navamsha, then you might have a very strong desire to have a business partnership with your spouse. For example, again, 7th house shows so many things. It is not just so simplistic, but I'm just giving an example for you to understand. Okay. So for now, every divisional chart represents one particular area of life. It's like a zooming in of a particular area of our life. Like, the Navamsha will show our spiritual life, our marriage, our talents, our inclinations, our desires from our past lifetimes. And also the Dashamsha will show our interest in career, profession, name, fame, all this. So sometimes I have seen, if you are unable to give a prediction on what should this person do from the D1 in context of profession, you should always check the Atmakaraka's placement in the Dashamsha chart, because that is something which, if the person does, will lead to fulfillment in profession. But here's the catch. You have to see how well is the Atmakaraka in the Navamsha. So if the Atmakaraka is also well placed in the Navamsha, then it also means that the person can choose that area as profession, and the person will do good because he or she will bring in talents from the previous lifetimes. But if the Atmakaraka is not well placed in the Navamsha, then it means due to sinful karma, this person's talents and traits are covered in context of that planet, but the desire is very strong. So it's like a person who has a lot of desire, to earn money, especially if it's Mercury, but the person doesn't know how to earn money. So yeah, makes life very frustrating, right? Exaltation in a particular divisional chart might indicate excessive interest in that area of life. So if the Atmakaraka is exalted in the D10 and the D1 also supports, then it might be that person focuses too much on the profession, and then the other aspects of life might suffer. Okay. Suffer not in a derogatory sense, but yeah, there will be some compromise which this person will make. And if the Atmakaraka is like, exalted in like 2 or 3 divisional charts, if you see that, then you have to find which chart has more prominence. For that you have to do a comprehensive analysis. You can't just say, oh, it's exalted here, it's in Kendra here, so it is more powerful than the other chart. No, you can't say that. But in general, you have to see the overall chart. The Lagna Lord's position determines where one channels their energy and focus. So the placement of the Lagna Lord will tell you where is this person focusing in this life. A chart will not work in harmony unless the energies of the Atmakaraka and the Lagna Lord are in harmony. So if the Atmakaraka and the Lagna Lord is in trines to each other, not in first 5 or 9, in trines to each other, okay, then it means that the person is focusing in something which the person actually believes in. Okay, so that is how you can actually find out what should this person do in life, like the purpose of life, goal of life, profession, and all this. It's very easy. Easy in the sense, you can very easily correlate. So if the Atmakaraka and the Lagna Lord are not well placed with respect to each other, so if they are in 6th, 8th, or 12th from each other, then yeah, it can show that the person wants something but has to focus in something else. Okay, so that's another problematic situation. Understanding Atmakaraka's role is vital in interpreting life patterns from previous lifetimes. Okay. The planets in trines to the Atmakaraka can help an individual obtain freedom from the desires related to the Atmakaraka. Interesting. So, if you want to know a person, then one easy way is to see what is the person doing in the Atmakaraka's dasha, because when the Atmakaraka's dasha comes, the person becomes, I would say, mildly or maybe obsessively obsessed, excessively obsessed about certain things in life. And then how does he behave? How does she treat others? How does he communicate? How does she carry on the other aspects of life? So if you want to know somebody, check the Atmakaraka and see what they were doing in their dashas. And if they were very good generally, but in the Atmakaraka's dasha, they behave very badly with you, then it means they They are inherently evil. Okay. And the planets in trines to the Atmakaraka can help an individual obtain freedom from the desires related to the Atmakaraka, because the planets in trines can either fulfill your desires or they can renounce your desires. Okay. Trines from the Atmakaraka. Okay. Transits of prominent planets over the Atmakaraka can indicate prominent time periods where a soul's inner desire is getting revisited, not fulfilled, revisited. Now, will the desire be fulfilled or not? That you have to check the dashas. The dashas will tell you if the desire will be fulfilled. But the transits will tell you if something is opening up, past karma is opening up. Okay. But people say that, oh, if Jupiter transits over your natal Atmakaraka, then desires are fulfilled. No, it doesn't work like that. Then the transits do not have the power to give you fulfillment of desire. Okay. It just doesn't work like that. Transits can only give you the results which the dasha has already promised. Okay. So therefore, it's a very interesting thing to study from a Jyotish perspective, which is the Atmakaraka, which is actually very important, because I see people, they always ignore the Atmakaraka. They take it for, either they take it for granted or they don't use it at all. Okay. But of course, the disclaimer is, as like always, just don't see the Atmakaraka and jump into conclusions. So somebody's Atmakaraka is in the 10th house. You say, oh, you will just keep focusing on profession. No, where is the Lagna Lord? That will tell you. So the Lagnesh is also in the 2nd or 6th or 10th, along with the Atmakaraka in the 10th. Then you know that this person is going to have a hell lot of focus in career. Okay. And the Navamsha will tell you, does this person have talents related to that? Okay. And the Dashamsha will tell you, within the profession, where will this person focus? So you have to see the D1, D9, and D10. Of course, if the Atmakaraka is in 5th house in the D1, then you need to check the Saptamsha, because the Saptamsha deals with children. So that is how it works. So depending on the placement of the Atmakaraka in a particular house in the D1, you also have to check that corresponding divisional chart. Okay. Thank you very much for your patience. If you like this video, then please click the thumbs up. And if you're new, you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, then please subscribe to it. And if you want a consultation from me regarding your Atmakaraka, career, marriage, health, spirituality, you can go to my website down in the description section. God is there with you all the time. Just look to him and you will surely find him, irrespective of who is your Atmakaraka. Okay. Thank you.